Welcome to Tech Monetize Official. Today, we're breaking down investing. No jargon, no intimidation. If you think investing is only for the wealthy or finance pros, think again. I started as a total beginner, and if I can do it, so can you. We'll cover why I started, the steps I took, the mistakes I made, and how you can avoid them. My goal: make investing simple, practical, and accessible. If you find this helpful, consider subscribing to Tech Monetize Official for more clear, empowering content. Let's dive into my journey and help you start yours. I'll share the real story, the wins, the mistakes, and everything in between. By the end, you'll feel ready to take your first step. Let's make your money work for you. My decision to invest didn't happen overnight. It was the result of months, maybe even years of uncertainty, hesitation, and self-doubt. I'd always heard that investing was important, but it felt like something for people who already had it all figured out, not for someone like me, just trying to make ends meet. It was a slow realization, one that crept up on me as I watched the days and months pass by. I'd find myself staring out the window, wondering if I was missing out on something bigger. Watching my savings barely grow while prices rose made me realize saving alone wasn't enough. Every trip to the grocery store, every glance at my bank app reminded me that inflation was eating away at my hard-earned money. I started to feel frustrated, even a little anxious, knowing that my efforts weren't keeping up. In 2025, I finally paid off my student loans, a milestone I'd been working toward for years. I also managed to build a small emergency fund, which gave me a sense of security I'd never felt before. For the first time, I had a little breathing room, a safety net that made me feel less vulnerable to life's surprises. Around the same time, I noticed my friends, people my age with similar backgrounds, were starting to invest, even if it was just a few dollars at a time. Seeing them take those first steps made the whole idea feel less intimidating, and I realized I wasn't alone in my uncertainty. I started thinking more seriously about my future. I pictured myself traveling, maybe buying a home one day, and eventually retiring comfortably. It became clear that just saving wouldn't get me there. I needed to do more if I wanted those dreams to become reality. That's when I realized investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's about building wealth slowly, over time. It's about letting my money work for me so I could reach my goals without feeling like I was always playing catch-up. I promised myself that 2025 would be the year I stopped letting fear and uncertainty hold me back. I circled a date on my calendar and made a commitment to myself. No more waiting, no more excuses. I wanted to take control of my financial future, even if I had to start small. I knew that every little bit counted, and that consistency was more important than perfection. The fear of missing out on future growth finally outweighed my fear of the unknown. I realized that doing nothing was actually riskier than trying and learning along the way. So I started learning, reading books, watching webinars, and asking questions. I faced my fears head-on, determined to make progress, not just excuses. That's how my investing journey began, with a promise to myself, a willingness to learn, and the courage to take that very first step. My first step wasn't flashy. I grabbed a notebook and wrote down my goals. Defining my why gave me direction and helped me decide how much risk I could handle. I kept my research simple: beginner blogs, YouTube explainers, and podcasts. I focused on basics. What's a stock? What's a fund? What's a Roth IRA? After a few weeks, I opened a brokerage account with a user-friendly app. Linking my bank account was the hardest part, and it only took minutes. My first investment? Just $50 in a low-cost index fund. Index funds are baskets of many companies, so even a small amount is diversified. I didn't try to pick a winner. I just wanted to get started safely. Seeing that first investment in my account was a milestone, it made everything real. I was officially an investor. The hardest part was simply starting. Let's break down the terms that used to scare me. When I first started learning about investing, all the jargon felt overwhelming, like a foreign language. But once I took the time to understand the basics, everything started to make sense. Stocks. Think of them as tiny pieces of ownership in a company. When you buy a stock, you actually own a small part of that business, no matter how big or small your investment is. If the company does well, your stock's value goes up. If not, it goes down. It's normal for prices to move up and down, and that's just part of the journey. Next, let's talk about funds. These are like baskets of investments. Mutual funds and ETFs let you own small pieces of many companies at once. Built-in diversification. Instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, you're spreading your risk across lots of different companies, which helps protect your money. Accounts are where you keep your investments safe and organized. Think of them as digital containers for your stocks and funds. A brokerage account is flexible and lets you buy and sell investments whenever you want. A Roth IRA, on the other hand, is designed for retirement and offers tax-free growth, which can really add up over time. Understanding these three, stocks, funds, and accounts, unlocked everything for me. Suddenly, investing didn't feel so mysterious or intimidating. You don't need to be a stock-picking genius or spend hours every day watching the market. Choose a good account, fill it with low-cost index funds, and let time do the work. Index funds track the whole market, so you don't have to guess which company will win. This simple framework made investing much less intimidating. I realized I didn't need to know everything to get started. Diversification and low fees are your best friends. By spreading your money out and keeping costs low, you set yourself up for long-term success. You don't need to know everything to get started. The most important step is simply to begin, even if you start small. Just focus on the basics. Keep it simple, stay consistent, and let your money grow over time. That's the key for beginners. Start with the basics, don't overthink it, and let your confidence grow as you learn. Let's be honest, investing can be scary. The first time my account balance dropped, I panicked. The fear of losing money is real, but it's part of the process. There's also analysis paralysis. So many choices, so much jargon. To cope, I stopped checking my account daily and focused on my long-term goals. I stuck with simple, broad market index funds to avoid overwhelm. The key: don't let fear or too many options stop you from starting. A simple, consistent plan beats waiting for the perfect moment. Mistakes and market dips are normal. Stay focused on the long game. I made plenty of mistakes. Some cost me money. My first mistake, trying to time the market. I sold, waited for a dip, and ended up buying back at a higher price. Lesson learned: time in the market beats timing the market. Next, I chased hype stocks without research, rode the wave up, then lost half my investment. FOMO is dangerous. Only invest in what you understand. I also ignored fund fees at first. A 1% expense ratio sounds small, but it adds up over decades. I switched to low-fee index funds and saw the difference. Every mistake taught me something. Be patient, do your own research, and always check fees. Painful lessons, but they made me a smarter investor. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, just learn from them. Investing is about progress, not perfection. Keep moving forward. That's how you grow. If I could advise my past self, I'd say start sooner. I wasted months overthinking instead of acting. You don't need to know everything, just take the first step. Automate your investments from day one, even if it's just $25 per payday. Automation builds wealth quietly and consistently. Ignore daily news and social media noise. It only creates anxiety. Stick to the plan. Buy broad, low-cost index funds and hold. Be patient and kind to yourself. Mistakes are part of learning. No one starts as an expert. The goal isn't perfection, but steady improvement. Learn, adjust, and keep going. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. Self-compassion matters. If you're feeling nervous about investing, you're definitely not alone. Almost everyone feels a bit anxious when they think about putting their hard-earned money into something new, especially when it comes to finances. It's completely normal to worry about losing money or making mistakes at first. These concerns are part of the process, and even experienced investors remember their first steps and the uncertainty that came with them. But here's something important to remember. The biggest risk isn't making a mistake, it's not investing at all. When you keep your money in cash, it slowly loses value to inflation, meaning your purchasing power shrinks over time. The stock market can be unpredictable in the short term, with ups and downs that might seem intimidating. But over the long run, it has a strong track record of growth, helping people build wealth steadily. You don't need to be wealthy to get started. Thanks to fractional shares, you can begin investing with just a single dollar. This means anyone can take that first step, no matter their budget. What matters most isn't the amount you start with, but the habit you build. Setting aside even a small amount regularly can make a big difference over time, thanks to the power of consistency. Start small, learn as you go, and gradually increase your contributions as you become more comfortable. Every bit you invest is a step toward your financial goals. Think of investing like planting a seed. With care, patience, and time, that seed can grow into something much bigger than you imagined. The earlier you plant it, the more time it has to flourish. Take one small step today. Read an article, watch a video, or open an account. Even a tiny action can break the inertia and set you on a new path. Remember, your financial journey begins with a single step. Every journey, no matter how long, starts with that first move forward. Don't wait for the perfect time. There's rarely such a thing. Life will always have uncertainties, but waiting only delays your progress. The sooner you start, the more you benefit from growth and compounding. Time is your greatest ally when it comes to investing. You have the power to shape your financial future. Don't let fear hold you back. Start now and give yourself the chance to grow. Picture yourself 10 years from now, seeing your investments grow from small, steady contributions. That feeling of security and freedom is worth every step you take today. My journey wasn't flashy, but it was real, consistent investing in low-cost index funds, ignoring hype, and trusting the process. Anyone can do this. You just need to start small and be patient. Don't let fear or confusion hold you back. The tools and resources are easier than ever to access. You deserve to have your money work for you. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best is now. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Tech Monetize Official for more practical guides. Your support helps us empower more people like you. Take that first step today. Your future self is counting on you. Thanks for joining me on this journey.